vultures are really flying low. Jeez.
They're guiding us.
Yeah, they are.
The vultures are guiding us. Hello, everybody. Welcome to 54 Nights RV. I'm Chris.
I'm Terry.
As if you didn't already know, all 110 of you or whatever.
There's 110 of me?
Wow.
Oh, 110 of them. Oh, okay.
That's a scary thought. So, anyway, we're back up at Lake McMurtry. It's the second weekend of college football.
Oops, sorry.
And my camera person is...
Gonna be fired?
No, definitely not. But tonight is Cowgirls soccer. So we always like to get out to the soccer games when we can. Unfortunately, their Sunday games are like at 1 o'clock, and that's when we're heading back home. And we would go to the game, except we have no place to put the 35-foot long Velveeta box while we're there. Anyway, we tried to bring you up here again, and the microphone malfunctions continued. I tried 2 different mics. The old mic that was on the phone, I put it on the Sony action camera on the dash, and apparently I need a powered mic for that camera. I couldn't find anything that would tell me if I needed a powered mic or not, so I thought I'd just try that one. I do have a powered mic. I put it on the phone with the same results, which tells me that the phone is the issue and not the mics.
Maybe you need some, like, Bob's and George's. I mean, you're talking about all these mics and they're not working, so maybe you need to hire somebody that's...
Keep your fantasies out of our videos.
Fantasies. You go to some really weird places.
Stillwater, that's not weird. So anyway, I'm gonna hook the powered mic up to the dash, or to the action cam.
Oh no, a powered mic. Now we're talking.
I'm gonna mute her side of it.
You started it. I mean, I started the mic, but yeah. Go ahead. Just continue.
So, we're in Stillwater, Lake McMurtry. The conversation that I started in the camper that you guys didn't hear.
So basically, he was talking to himself, which is kind of funny.
I always talk to myself, as I find I'm the only one intelligent enough to converse with. So I was talking about issues with the camper. I mean, every RVer knows that there's always something going on. It's rare that everything is perfect and you have nothing to work on. And our camper is no different. Our trip to Florida did not come without a price, other than the cost of the trip.
Yeah, I was going to say Disney World's expensive.
First thing, some gracious individual pulled out, well, cut me off, going down a 4-lane road. He cut me off to get in my lane so that he or she, I don't want to be sexist, I'm not sure if it was male or female, I don't know. I mean, he pulled out in front of me and decided at that moment that they needed, in that gas station right there, and almost come to a complete stop to pull into that gas station, which I had to slam on the brakes. 11-ton vehicle doesn't stop on a dime, especially on wet pavement. I had to slam on the brakes to keep from hitting him. real close to ending up in his back seat. I keep saying him. It could have been a girl. I don't know. All I saw was a car quickly approaching my seat. I had to slam on the brakes, which, you know, when you have anti-lock brakes, it kind of like, depending on how well they're operating or not operating, it just kind of depends on how they're functioning. It can actually lock the tire, release, lock, release, lock. So I ended up with 3 bald spots on the front right tire. That was on the way down to Orlando. So we put quite a few miles on that tire. Well, those bald spots, in addition to giving us extreme vibration.
Bald spots like that. Okay.
They weren't bald spots, they were flat spots, I'm sorry. There's still tread there. On top of giving us some really good vibrations.
Beach Boys fan.
Somehow or another, it's also causing excessive wear on the left front tire. So that kind young person or old person or decrepit person that pulled out in front of me on that wet evening.
Those are nicer terms than what you said when it happened.
Yeah, well, they cost me probably close to $1,200. I haven't got the tires yet, but I've got to get the tires and the alignment checked. It's going to be pretty close to $1,200. And then we had the not responsible vehicle. I know you guys have seen them. Got not responsible painted on with big fancy letters on the tailgate of a dump truck, and, you know, tell you to stay 300 foot back because they're not responsible. No, really, not responsible. You need to take that literally. They're not responsible.
I see what you did there.
So this guy cuts me off, and I'm in the process of slowing down to provide a safe distance between the two vehicles, because, as mentioned, I'm in an 11-ton Velveeta box, and
Velveeta should sponsor us.
they should. And one of the rocks on his tailgate that he's not responsible for, or definitely not responsible for brushing off the tailgate before he leaves the job site, comes tumbling off, bounces, and chips the windshield.
But he's not frustrated about this at all.
No, I mean, nobody's responsible for it. That rock apparently got there on its own, flew off on its own, and hit the windshield on its own. Even the rock's not responsible. I think the head actually imprinted on the rock, not insurance.
it when he sees a squirrel and you're going to start recording.
Probably not a good idea to bring the dogs on this one.
Oh, it's always a good idea. Just leave the squirrels gone and it's easier.
You got to keep moving the camera to keep up with the dog leash holder. There she goes again. I just got wrapped up. So the Cowgirls won.
Yay!
3-1 over Cal. So while we're on the subject of RV issues, last weekend while we were out here, she sends me a text message because I was at work and then driving up here and then going back. Never mind. The washing machine wouldn't come on, wouldn't power on. She hit the on button and nothing. No lights, nothing. So my initial assessment from 80 miles away, it's not getting power. So at the next opportunity, I checked the, yeah, this is what happens when you bring dogs.
Sorry.
The next opportunity, I checked the breakers and the fuses. None of the breakers were tripped, none of the fuses were fried. So next step was to pull the washing machine out, because those circuit boards on those Splendid combo units have a reputation for failure. So I thought maybe we just needed to replace that circuit board. So I went to pull the washing machine out, and well, watch this.
And maybe this, but not me.
You're not in it.
This season, win big with the Oklahoma Ford kickoff and win. Each week, register at KOCO.com to win a new Ford F-150. Weekly winners announced Friday night on KOCO 5 News. Then watch the Saturday primetime college football game on KOCO 5. The longer the return, the more you win. And if the opening kick is returned for a touchdown, you win a Ford F-150. Weekly winners are eligible to win the end of season tailgate package. Go to KOCO.com for details from your Oklahoma Ford dealers and KOCO 5.
And there you have it. I removed the door panel so I could pull the washer out because the washer wasn't working, and then I saw that it had a power cord going up behind this hidden treasure panel up here, and so I pulled the panel out, and the only reason the washer wasn't working was because it became partially unplugged. So if you ever have this issue, pull the treasure panel off and make sure it's still plugged in. Save you a little bit of time. Now I got to figure out how to get that dryer duct back on the back of this dryer. So yeah, all that I really needed to do was plug the darn thing in. Go figure. But that, you know, it's...
In your defense, it's not like a normal, you know, utility in the house where you just look and see if it's plugged in or not.
Yeah, when you have to remove a false wall to check to see if it's plugged in. We're rotating because the dogs are.
Whose idea was it to bring the dogs?
That was yours.
No, I don't think so. You said at halftime we're going to take the dogs for a walk.
No,
yeah,
I didn't say that.
That is what you said, liar.
Pretty sure you don't know what you're talking about.
Why are we walking backwards?
Because the dogs are.
They're not.
So, anyway, the washing machine is functional now, which is cool. Today is game day. We're gonna go watch the Cowboys football team. And none of us are gonna hold still because we can't. We're leashed to dogs. It's not the other way around. Don't fool yourself. The dogs aren't leashed to us. We're leashed to them. We'll catch you in a bit. boys win. So, when I had to remove that washer dryer to find out that I didn't have to remove it to plug it back in, something else came to light. Since you laugh at me, right? Makes me feel very insecure.
No, I thought you were talking about the
flashlight you drop back behind there.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about.
It's a permanent resident. The next owner of our RV will buy it with a free LED flashlight.
He said don't drop the screwdriver back there because, you know, it always happens. So I didn't drop the flashlight back there. Yeah. And it was on.
Yeah, it's still on. As a matter of fact, it's a week later and it's still on.
It's got really good batteries.
It's an LED flashlight, so it may be on,
next year.
Next football season. Anyway, since the day we bought this coach, probably noticed it the first or second big real trip out, it's had a bit of an odor about it.
A bad odor. And sometimes more than a bit.
Yes. Gray water. There was a distinct gray water smell in the coach.
If you don't know the gray water smell, it almost smells like sewer. It smells like black water almost.
Yeah, it's not the most pleasant smell in the world.
No.
We brought it up. Well, I mean, there were workarounds that sometimes worked, sometimes didn't. You know, run the washing machine right after we dumped the tanks, and sometimes that would help alleviate it.
I'm not even sure that wasn't just happened to...
Yeah. It wasn't all the time. It wasn't a constant thing, but it was there. And when you opened up the windows at the front driving down the highway, it would draw that odor up to the front of the coach.
Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah. So we brought it up to our service manager, and he blew us off.
They just smell like that sometimes.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Happens sometimes.
Yeah, just what you deal with when you... Yeah.
It's like, no, dude, it's not sometimes. It's most of the time. It happens. When we boondocked at El Malpais National Monument, we filled up the gray tank during that few days that we boondocked, and on our way to find a dump station, it was darn near, it would make your eyes water. It was so bad in there. But anyway, having to remove that little treasure panel to unplug the washer that was already previously unplugged for me, the anti-siphon valve is also back behind there. The anti-siphon valve is just a valve in line on your plumbing, typically from your sinks or your washer-dryer combo. And what it does, it lets air come into the plumbing, but does not let air escape. That air is sewer gas, basically, that it's stopping from escaping. Well,
and we all know that sewer gas needs to escape one way or another.
So I took a picture of it thinking, well, maybe I should just go ahead and replace this thing while we're back here. Maybe just by happenstance, it is the culprit of this odor. Took a picture of it.
Very French of you.
Oh, thank you. Took a picture of it, and then I reached up to see if I might be able to tighten it up, and it was basically just barely hanging on. So I screwed it on tight. The other thing, the washer drain goes into the pipes right before the P-trap. Nope, she didn't give the dumb P-trap joke.
See, yeah, must be called a P-trap because it smells like gray water.
Yeah. So
hey,
anyway,
you segued me that. You were like, say it, say it, say it.
Anyway, where it goes into the pipe, the the caulking or the sealing job that the factory did was not a professional job. It was like they wadded up.
Professional, like chewing gum, like they chewed it and they went.
Yeah, stuck it on top, and there you go. That ought to keep it closed up.
My granddaddy said you could do anything you want with chewing gum.
Yeah. Well, it didn't close it up. There was about a quarter-sized gap in that sealant, and also a couple of cracks that were letting air out. So
not fresh air.
Yeah, not fresh air. So I sealed that up. So it's been about a week since we've done it, and we have not experienced that gray water stench.
Yep.
Probably the true test will be this afternoon when we head back to the house after we dump the gray tanks, but pretty confident that we have resolved the issue that the dealership didn't want to touch.
And that's also the reason that the washing machine came unplugged too. So.
Yeah. You know, which brings up the point. When you buy these RVs and you have a complaint about something, do not let the service manager blow you off. They're simply going to blow you off if they think that they're not going to get paid to by the factory to fix the problem, which unscrewing a false wall and screwing in a anti-siphon valve probably netted zero money from the factory. So therefore you're getting zero energy from the service manager. He doesn't want to mess with it. He doesn't care. The dealership has your money. You got the coach, they've got your money. If you think they still care about you after the sale, think again. I know there's some dealerships out there that actually do, but
Really?
I've heard rumors that there are dealerships that actually give a darn about you after
And
they sell you the
repeat sales,
coach.
because
Yeah.
some don't even care about repeat sales, apparently.
So it's on you to stay on that service manager until they look into the problem.
Our purpose in life is to make these mistakes that we don't stay on them,
Yeah.
so that we can tell you stay on them.
I mean, regardless of how we come off, we're actually nice people. That niceness cost us in this, and thankfully it didn't cost us money. It was a simple mechanical issue that I'm capable of taking care of. But I know there are a lot of you out there that aren't necessarily mechanically inclined, and you would have to get Cousin Johnny to come out and fix it for you, or pay somebody to fix it for you, because I mean, some people just aren't wired that way.
I'm not wired that way.
So we didn't stay on him. We just kind of like, okay, whatever. He says it's typical.
And we didn't know. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe that is typical. We haven't driven
Yeah.
around in a lot of Class A's.
No,
so-
we've had campers before that
Yeah.
never had this smell, but we've never driven around a motorhome.
Right. And
Never
the ones that
owned
we've
one.
looked in didn't smell like that, but
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't driving them.
So if you have an issue, no matter how small it is, while it's under warranty, you ride that service manager until they look at it. At the very least, until they look at it. And if they look at it and don't find anything, you stay on them still.
Because apparently their job is to get you out of warranty.
Let's just keep squeezing this off until that 12 months is over, and then we're done. And then you have to pay them to tighten up an anti-siphon valve at, you know, whatever, $80 an hour, whatever they're charging now, probably 95. But yeah, stay on them. Do not let go of them. Just however small that issue is, you stay on them. At some point, that service manager is going to walk himself out to your coach and go, okay, show me what the problem is. And he's going to look at it, try to take care of it, just to shut you up.
You know, he was actually in our coach when we told him about that,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And he still got away with
So
doing nothing.
stay on it. That first year, it's critical to get all these things lined out, because you're still going to be working on it down the road, but you want to get all the manufacturing defects taken care of. So anyway, guys, Hope this video was helpful. I know you probably don't, most of you probably don't enjoy soccer and football like we do, but I still showed it to you. So
It's kind of like football and football.
Football, football, and football.
Yeah, that's right.
See? Anyway, guys, subscribe to our channel. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. And if you are subscribed, ring that notification bell so you know when we've got new videos coming up. So,
I hope that helped.
I do. I hope it did help. Anyway, we'll catch you guys next time around.
Bye.